Good morning. It is Monday, April 22nd. Happy Monday. I don't know who else is excited as I am about Monday, but Monday is exciting. It's the start of the week and there's so much excitement going on and just something to look forward to. Anyway, happy Monday and welcome to my Monday coffee talk. As always, I have these weekly coffee talk where I bring you topics that you may find very helpful in your everyday life. So today's topic, first of all, I hope everyone had a great Easter weekend. So Saturday, I had my time management workshop. For those of you who made an effort to come out and spend some great afternoon with me. Thank you very much. And I hope you got something very useful from the workshop. As for Sunday, my Easter, I went and spent it with like a whole bunch of women at the women's club, and it was amazing. And everyone brought in their family. So there was a lot of things going on, and I got the chance to talk to a lot of people. So it was fun. I really had a good time. So today, since I just did a time management workshop, and some people actually approached me and asked me whether or not this is an ongoing thing. So I kind of figure, for those of you who couldn't make it to the workshop, I will bring the topic back to you and have you watch it live. For those of you who's joining me for the first time, I am Michelle, and I am a transition coach. So I work with to help people to connect with their confidence and also to connect them with their purpose by letting go of their judgment on themselves. So part of what I do is really helping people out, sort things out, and kind of like a Marie Kondo in a way. Except I don't do organization in your closet. I do organization on your life, and I help you uncover some of the blind spots so that you can have a better idea of how you want to do things in life. So today's topic is how to stay organized and save some time. I have 5 ways of you can do this, and I basically summarize them to the way that it works for me. And obviously you can take it home, tweak it, and do however, whichever step that you would like to do. And none of it is really, like 1, 2, 3. You can just jump it around and figure out whatever that works for you. So without further ado, my number 1 tip is to create a to-do list. How do you stay organized and save time? I think one of the major thing is that we have so many things that's going on in our life, and of course you don't know, like you're kind of finding out, well, this thing I want to do first and that one I want to do next, but you really need to have a to-do list in order to stay organized and be prepared. So whether you have multiple roles, if you're your mom, you have your work life, and there's so many different other things. Having a to-do list and have a clear vision of what you want to do for that day, for that week, for that month, having a goal will really help you focus in terms of how to stay organized. So creating a to-do list. And one of my trick is actually I do bullet journal. So bullet journal is a great method of having that to-do list, and also at the same time you actually prioritize all your lists. Say in case you got really busy and you miss a day, don't worry about it. You go back and fill it in the next day. So it's really flexible in terms of how you want to do it, and it's a list. And I personally like to check things off on the list. So I love bullet journal. So that's number 1, to create a to-do list. If you haven't done so, go ahead and start thinking about, maybe I need to create a to-do list so to help me visualize it. Number 2 is to write things down. So I think a lot of us, feel like, oh yeah, I can just memorize it. I can just remember it. Well, if you just remember it, chances are you're not going to remember it. So carry a little notebook. They're very inexpensive, that you can buy in CVS, any stationery. Just carry it with you and jot down and write things down. I know, nowadays we have all electronic. You can even, open up the note and put a really quick note in there and just write things down. This way, it'll help you remember what needs to be done. And when you're combining with the previous one, the to-do list, you can actually, whatever that you wrote down, you can actually go back and put that into your bullet journal. And by the end of the day, you can kind of look at it and summarize, oh, these are the things that I accomplished. Oh, great, I feel good about. So two tricks already, 2 ways to stay organized already, to create a to-do list, and then write things down. Make sure you write things down. Now, once you write things down, what do you do with them? You wanted to prioritize them. So in my workshop, I cover a couple of methods that you can do prioritizing. So one of the methods is do a pair comparison. So what do you do in a pair comparison? So pair comparison basically means that, say you have 3 tasks, right? And you need to cook, you need to call someone, or you need to fire someone. A pair comparison prioritizes things by comparing each one of them, and the one that's most important, you put a check mark next to it, and you just keep going down on the list until you realize that the one that has the most check is the most important thing that you want to get to, and of course, that's the thing that you go to. So that's one method of how you can prioritize things on that to-do list. So if you have 90 items on your to-do list, which is funny because just the other day I was talking to someone and I was telling her that, I have this time management workshop coming up on the weekend, and she was telling me, oh, I totally need it because I have like 90 things on my list. Well, if you have 90 things on your list, how do you get to all of them? And that's a tricky part. So in my workshop, I talked about, how can you prioritize things. So one of the methods, like I said, was the pair comparison. So you prioritize each of your item based on the importance and how you want to take care of them. Now, number 3 is to find a pattern to your workflow. So some of us have like clutter on our desk, or we get distracted by the things that's going on around us, and telephone, emails, there's so many distractions that's wasting our time. So you definitely want to find a pattern behind your workflow. Are you someone who tend to get distracted because there's the environment, or are you someone who's really trying to multitasking, which multitasking doesn't work? I'm sorry to tell you that, but don't multitasking. Don't multitasking. Multitasking is not a very efficient way of how you can be productive. So don't multitasking. So find a pattern in your workflow and minimize your time waster. If you're a procrastinator, then figure out a way to, you're not procrastinating, maybe doing one thing at a time and not to put it off till the last minute. So find a pattern to your workflow. If you have a big project that you have to do by the end of the week or the end of the month, and it's a huge project and it requires so many steps, right? So when you come into facing those big projects that you need to take care of, always consider taking baby steps. Don't multitasking. Don't attempt to do 100 things at a time. Take baby steps. What is your next item on the list in order for you to complete this project? Take that little baby step, and this way, once you're done with one task, you move on to the next task. So take the next step by taking baby steps, especially on those big projects. Now, the last one is you definitely wanted to reconnect to your true self. So I was just having a conversation yesterday, and this is a woman who's very accomplished. She owns her company. She's a mom. She takes care of 3 kids, and of course she's married, and she has a husband. And then she highly value family. So family is her priority, and she put in a lot of effort and consideration into her family. So the question that came out was, well, so what about you? What do you want? So I think as women, we're so passionate and so compassionate about giving, and we end up giving everything that we have to someone else or to our family, but then you're kind of neglecting yourself. And so the question I had for her was, well, how do you take care of yourself, on a daily basis, on that busy schedule of that 24 hours? And she gave me a look, and because she doesn't take care of herself. So always come back to reconnecting with yourself, maybe spending 5 minutes out of your day and just to sit back and just relax, pour yourself a glass of wine or have a cup of coffee, whatever you like, and just sit back and not doing anything. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? You sit back for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and just be by yourself and connect with yourself. After 5 minutes, you can get back to the work. It's still going to be there. It's not going to go anywhere, right? But so spend 5 minutes out of your day and just calm yourself, practice meditation, doing yoga, doing stretching, whatever you find relax. Just in a short period of time, you'll be surprised how productive you can be in the long run. We all feel that, oh, well, there are so many tasks that we need to complete, so there's no time to relax. But you don't realize that, when you're so physically tired, physically wear out, you're not going to have the energy to do anything else. Or you may be performing at you may be expecting yourself to be performing at a high level, but in reality, when you're so tired, when you're so drained, you're probably performing at the average or below average level. So why not take care of yourself first? And this way you recharge, and so that you have more energy of doing what you need to do. And one of the analogy I was telling this lady was, you're kind of like an empty cup, so you fill yourself with a lot of tasks, throughout your day and your goals in your life, but you keep filling it, and there's come to a point where you can't fill it up anymore. So you got to empty it out in order to have more things to be filled. So I think many of us kind of feel that way too, especially when life is so busy, we keep running and going to the next place. You really need to take a minute and just empty out your cup so that your cup can hold more. So to summarize my 5 ways of to stay organized and save time, number 1 is to create a to-do list. Bullet journal is a great way, it works for me, but if you're interested, I'll make sure to put some links on the bullet journal on the bottom of the comments so that you can check it out for yourself. So number 1, create the to-do list. And number 2, make sure to write things down. Our memory will play tricks on us. Number 3 is to find a pattern in your workflow. So minimize any of the time waster that you may have or distraction that you may have, and just focus on the time that you need. And number 4 is to take baby steps with especially big projects. So if you have big projects, make sure you break them down into smaller steps. What is your next step item? Number 5 is to really reconnect yourself to your true being. There's a quote that I really like. It's, "We are human beings, we're not human doings." When you do things, you tend to feel work, but when you're just being, you actually enjoy what you do, and you feel more fulfilled, you have more purpose, and life is just more easier that way, and you could be your own Marie Kondo. So that's it for today. If you have any question or comments, please go ahead and leave it in the comment. And if you're joining me for the first time, you're welcome to let me know where you're coming from and how did you find out about me. And I would love to hear your thoughts of how you stay organized and save times. And also, if you have any great tips and strategy that you personally like, you're welcome to leave it in the comment as well. I love to hear them. And of course, make sure you hit the subscribe button or follow me on Instagram or Facebook so that I can bring you more topic every week. So until then, have a great week. reach out to me and send me comments if you have any questions. And of course, I love interaction and people. I like people. All right. Have a great day.